other children were born. This one was bound to her in ways no one knew, just as she, having hidden his secret these past 4 months, was bound to him. She would let no one else hold him, not even the baby's father, who asked only once, and then, with great and terrible chivalry, pressed her no further. During the hours she held him, she could not make herself believe how fleeting his life would be. His breath, above all, gave incontrovertible proof of his being. With grave equanimity, eyelids closed, mouth relaxed, he took and expelled hundreds, thousands of the most exquisite wisps of air, amounts that might be measured in scruples and drams, and which his mother imagined bore their own delicate hues, invisible to the human eye. They, his breaths, were the one thing she wished could be saved. In her state, she almost believed it possible. It seemed a matter simply of having the right vial in which to stopper them. What were they called? Those special vials for holding tears? Lacrimatories, yes, if only she had one intended for breaths. Aspiratory. And although she did not allow herself to sleep properly during all those 57 hours, still she had some passing dream or medicated fantasy in the hospital bed, while she savored the feel of his inaudible, numbered breaths, still stirring against her cheek, in which she glimpsed herself with an actual such vial on a chain around her neck, an amulet she might wear forever. He wore, during his short life, a white cotton shirt with a single covered side snap, a white flannel receiving blanket, and a white cotton cap fitted so gently over the opening in his head. He was given 2 diaper changes, the second proving unnecessary. His mother found that once he was in her arms, she didn't want to name him anything, not even the name they'd picked out, Simon Isaac Ryrie, a name she had loved, but which struck her ears now as a terrible quantity of pricking syllables. It was not that she was trying to resist forming an attachment, nor that she wished to deprive him of any blessing, any gift or token, but only because once he was in her arms, it became obvious that a name was too clumsy and rough and worldly a thing to foist on such a simultaneously luminous and shadowy being. She tried explaining this to her husband, and also to the nurse and the midwife and the neonatologist, and then to the lady who came with the forms that had to be filled out, and to the resident with the beautiful sad eyes and the accent that made her think of anisette cakes and tiny glasses of thick coffee. His name was Dr. Abdulaziz, which she remembered because of the way he kissed the feet of her fading child each time he came in. But she couldn't seem to produce words that matched the authority of her conviction. Her voice encountered obstacles, so that the easier and ultimately more rightful thing to do was abandon speech and simply hold her baby swaddled against her chest. This was all she could do, and she did it absolutely. In the end, it was the resident, Dr. Abdulaziz, who dissolved her resistance to naming the child, not by design or conscious effort, not even knowing he'd played such a role. Yet when he stopped in to visit them, for the last time, he explained it would be the last time as he'd come to the end of his shift. He called the baby by name, in so low a voice, his accented syllables seeming to drape the baby in a beautifully embroidered garment, as he pronounced with care and not a speck of fanfare, almost as though it were private, not intended for either parent, but for the baby's sake alone. Simon Isaac. And bent to touch once more, his mouth to the soles of the baby's feet. And so she let her husband inscribe the name they'd chosen on the forms. What did it matter? She recognized